Hey y'all, I'm Susan Aki, pronounced Aki like hockey without the H. And if you're on Instagram, I'm YardGirl60. And I would love to have you come follow me because I'm actually meeting a lot of friends here that have become my BFFs. But I'm sitting at the Aurifil booth talking about Little Band Sampler. This is my newest thread collection and it is off the charts bright. I purposely picked spring colors because the timing was amazing for the brightness of spring. In Florida, where I'm from, we don't get the true seasons. But when you look around the country, you see everybody gearing up and everybody's got their flowers. Instagram's filled with gorgeous garden photos. I wanted to have something that looked garden. And I also, which will be on the website next week, is the accompanying pattern to go with this. It's called Little Band Sampler. And a follow-up to that will be a blog explaining what a band sampler is and why I called it Little Band Sampler, because it's little, number one, and it can be as big or little as you want, considering what size linen you work with, which we're going to talk about later. But I thought more people like to see the work I do rather than me. So let's get down to the real work. But I will tell you this, my favorite kind of stitching ever are Quaker Samplers. Quaker Samplers started with schoolgirls wanting to learn how to stitch. And they were taught at school and they practiced motifs. They made them up, they were given instructions, however they did it. They didn't have the variety of colors that we're offered now. So the first box that I had, which was Little Quaker Sampler, was all Christmas colors. What I did was use smaller motifs, and it was just like little school girls would practice with. Well, I take traditional Quaker patterns and I change them to the colors I feel I like. And normally I have a pretty soft palette, and I don't frame very many of mine because I just totally do this for enjoyment. So I just pick colors, lay out the pattern, and just start picking colors I like out of the colors I have, and I just throw them out on the table, and then I just start stitching. And of course they get changed, the minute I do a motif. But the one main reason I love a Quaker Sampler is you can pretty much finish a motif in a sitting, and I only stitch at night. So we're talking a couple of hours, I can have one little motif done, and it's instant gratification. And the other sampler, like this one, is the band sampler. A band sampler is straight lines of stitching. So I go straight across with usually the same pattern is repeated. Very seldom you're gonna find different patterns in a band sampler. So let's start with my favorite kind, which this is a Quaker. This is a traditional Quaker, and I changed every single color from the traditional colors because obviously they didn't have pretty corals and aquas and yellows. They probably would have had, I think the original showed in browns and burgundies, really dark colors. And I also stitched pretty much on a 36 count linen over 2. So if you can imagine, if this was done on an Aida cloth on a 14, it probably would be about 1.5 times bigger than this size. It would be much larger. Wow. So in the first box release, and you'd have to go back to the blog to read it, I explain on how you do your counts with linen over 2, so you can kind of get a gist, because I gave examples. If you need to know how to do the math on linen when you're stitching on linen, it's pretty simple to do. So go back to the blog, go hunt it down, and you can figure that. We're not going to waste fun live talking about math, okay? Because then I'd have to pull out a calculator. So now, we've seen the Quaker. That's my favorite stitching. My second favorite is a band sampler. Now this was, get the right side. This was actually released a row or a section a month, and we did it online. And this is my favorite color red, by the way. It's 5002 in case you ever want to get it, and I may buy it out, so you better hurry and go get it. They released like a section at a time, and you worked on it. And once again, this is on 36 count, so you imagine this thing is long. This thing is real. I think this is about 27 to 28 inches long. Now, if you did this on a 14 count, it probably would be about 38, 39 inches long. It'd be huge. And once again, this was, you could pick any colors you wanted. I decided to do one color work. because I didn't know what I was getting into. It was a mystery, and I didn't know what I was getting into. Okay, so let's move on. Oh, wait, you can see the back. Everybody loves to see the back of work for some reason. There's the back of my work.
Which looks just as beautiful as the front.
But I don't knot. I hide stitches. So I never knot your back, because when you go to press it, and linen you can press and you can steam. Once it's, once you're working on it, even if it gets too wrinkly, you can steam. It's going to be okay. Your holes don't close up like an Aida cloth. Your stitches will stay and your holes will stay, because it's a linen. It's a natural fiber. I do try to go back and clip my seams though. Okay, so let's go through a couple of other ones. Oh, this one right here. I loved this one. I loved the original, but I wanted to do something bright. The original, oh my gosh, the original was done in black and yellow, and it was stunning. But what's the fun in that? I know how the black and yellow looks, so I wanted to do something with the color. So once again, I threw out some colors on the table and had at it. And there's the 5002 showing up again. That pretty much shows up in every one of my stitching. It's in my first Christmas box. I love that color.
Those color combos are gorgeous too.
Okay, let's do an ode to Florida. This is actually called, and I promise, I do not remember. It's somewhere on my Instagram. You have to go scroll way back. This is a tropical Quaker. And her colors, I think she did in purples, I'm not sure, but I definitely wanted something from Florida kind of colors. And I would try not to repeat too much, but if I repeated, I tried to repeat it at least twice. That was just fun, just because it had all the cute stuff in it. It had all the things that reminded me of summer.
What you pointed out earlier, there's that little crab.
Oh, the crab was my favorite.
There's the little turtle. And there's a mermaid hiding up there. It's really fantastic, all the different pieces.
This was a fun stitch. And I have just recently posted this on Instagram. This is Gingham Linen. This is a 28 count. Super, super, super fun to work on. The Gingham Linen came in, I think, 3 colors: a pink, a tan, a blue. And then, of course, you have different people that over dye it. I like it fresh and bright. And the pattern's from a zillion years ago, and I don't even remember who the pattern is. But the working with the 28 count, this zipped through, of course.
That's awesome.
And okay, true confession, I only did this piece because I wanted to do the border. I love this. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. It's called a love song, I think. And I did it because I always do my borders, or I start at my upper right-hand side, but I always do my borders first. I really did this to see if my borders would meet up at the very end. That was the true reason that I wanted to even tackle this. And then the rest was like, okay, I did it. Let me just move on. It's a beautiful piece. Okay, so this color is my second favorite red, and I'll tell you why. It looks kind of like a rusty red on the little spool, but it comes out such a true red. It's 2255, and it's an amazing color because it doesn't play like you think it plays. You think, oh, that's a little Barney red. No, it's not. It's really red.
Yeah.
And it's a perfect red. Okay, so this one was fun. This is a Corey Yoder. She had a free quilt along years ago, so I contacted her and I said, do you mind if I actually do this on Instagram? And she goes, no, do it. And I changed a few blocks, but she put a few little quilt blocks. And at the time, I happened to be sewing with some Minnick & Simpson red, white, and blue fabric. I thought, wait, let me see what I have that matches that. Oops, wait, I have this turned the wrong way. See on that corner. And that was just fun, little quilt blocks. And the Minnick & Simpson colors.
That's gorgeous.
And if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I say it. If I say it once, I say it a million times. Orange is my favorite color. I love orange. Always has, always been my favorite color, but I love it when it's mixed with pinks. And this kind of is my favorite shade. I'm not talking like that bright, not Halloween orange. Just the pretty softer oranges is my favorite, but I love it when it's mixed with pinks. And that was just because I wanted to see how many pinks and oranges I could get on this without repeating. And I didn't repeat.
I love
and once
the combination
once
with the
again,
green.
I did all my circles first.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the last one I'll show you. But this was to see if I liked working with purple. Purple is something I don't work with, and it actually played well. So I don't mind playing with purple again. And that's actually not even a Quaker. I don't even know what that is, but you know what? It looks very architecturally something.
It looks like it could be a stained glass window almost.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
that works for me. Okay, we'll call it Stained Glass Revolution.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
love it.
It's now named. I guess I need to go ahead and frame it, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so this is what I have to show you. I'm so excited about this. This is what I'm over the moon about right now, is linen weaving. Okay, so linen weaving started, I don't even know. I think I found on a Google search, page 25, that it started like back in Napoleon time. You know, I mean, it's way, way, way old. Linen weaving is, if you think about weaving, all you do is go up and down. You skip a stitch, skip 2 stitches, skip 3 stitches. It doesn't matter. I'm doing this on linen. So some of these you skip only 1 stitch. And it's all the different patterns. Think of baskets. You can use basket weaving patterns. You can use any kind of pattern you want. This is my practice. I'm finishing practicing now. Now I'm heading it hardcore. I'm gonna come up with something now.
Get in close so we can see the stitches in here.
Believe it or not, some of these look like they'd be super, super simple. Oh, this is over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2. I messed that up. I'm not gonna even count how many times. But the cool thing about linen is when you're weaving this, you can just pull it out like a row at a time. It just like jerks out because you're just weaving it. This is fun, and you know what? If Aurifil lets me, maybe we can come up with some freebies on the site. But I need to hear from y'all, yay or nay. Give them a heads up on Instagram, Facebook, or something. Say, yes, we want some patterns.
We already had a few commenters say that they're so excited about how much you're doing with the cross stitch and the floss, and that they can't wait to see all the new things you're coming up with. So,
well,
yeah,
good, because I want to do something with linen weaving. I'm over the moon with this. I have discovered, and I will tell y'all, if we do something with the linen weaving, I'm going to tell y'all right now to get a 28 count. 28 count linen is the best to work with. I've tried this on every single count, and this is the easiest to work with. This is the one that you don't feel like you're squinting. I do have the light of 7 moons over my shoulder when I stitch, and I only stitch at night, so it's really bright over my shoulder. But this, a 28 count, you can see this really, really well. You don't need a super duper bright light to do this. And you can actually sit out in the sunlight and do this because you can see it. So here's what we're gonna do right now. I wanna show you, because this actually is what I get asked about a lot on my Instagram page. Stitching on linen. Now my favorite linen is a 36 count. I stitch over 2. So my 36 count, if you were to do a regular cloth, it would end up being 18 count. That's, you're just going to divide that number by 2. So I'm actually stitching whatever my design size is an 18 count. So what's the difference between linen and even weave? This is a linen. Too bad this doesn't have texture feel, right? Here's the linen. You can see it's got the little bumpies. It's an irregular weave. It'll never be, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be, you're going to have like bumps some places. It's going to be uneven. That's okay. I like the look of that. Some people like the even weave. This is a 28 count even weave. Every single line in here is perfectly, perfectly even. It will not have imperfections like the linen. Let me see if I hold that. Can you see the difference?
Yep.
So the choices are, and I actually think that weaving might look really pretty on an even weave, and I'm going to show you an example of it because it's going to be a perfect stitch. I like the imperfection of a linen, but it's going to be a perfect stitch on an even weave if you like that look. I do not stitch using a hoop. I stitch in hand, which means I don't stab. If you stitch with a hoop, you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down. Stitching in hand, I'm going to show you. let's pull out a needle right here. Stitching in hand means, okay, let's go over 2. Well, make sure I'm not knotted, right? Okay, I'm gonna go over 2 right here. Are you zoomed in? Can you see over 2? There's 2. See how I'm sewing that? I move on to the next stitch. I'm gonna find my 2. There's my 2. I'm gonna go up and down. I'm sewing it. I'm just back and forth, just sewing. Just sewing through the holes, every other one. That's your over 2. And that's how you do it without a hoop. And I'm gonna tell you that people say all the time that I stitch so fast. It's not that I maybe stitch fast, it's that I'm sewing it rather than stabbing it. When you have to stab, let me see if I can do it without a hoop. I don't know if I can, hold on. When you're stitching with a hoop, you have to go up, you go down. You have to go to the back, you have to come back up, you have to go up, come back down. So if you're doing in hand, I'm going straight over, and I'm finding a hole, and I'm not having to go through the motion of finding my back, because I can hunt for it with my needle. I can hunt for the holes this way. You know, I could go over 3, 4, 5, or 6. I can hunt without, here's the difference. I've got a hoop, I have to come up through the back and pull it back out. I go find my hole, I go down, and if I'm in a hoop, then I have to bring it back up again. And it's not that it's wasted motion. If that's what you're comfortable with, you're comfortable with that. But just for the fun of it, take your Q-snap, take your hoop, take it away, and see what happens if you just hold it. Now this even weave will soften up a little bit. It doesn't soften up as much as linen. Linen just gets softer while you work with it. Just take off your hoop. Try a few stitches. You can jerk them out if you don't like it. Take off your hoop, hold it in your hand, and just start sewing. You're just finding the little holes. And you can even watch TV. I hold the remote control and watch TV while I'm stitching, so. I'm just finding the holes. I'm holding the back, because I'm actually just holding this steady. That's how my stitches get even, because my finger is actually holding this steady to make sure I'm staying uniform. Does that make sense, guys? Do we get like heads up feedback? Do we get like claps? Do we get people saying, yes, I get it. I'm going without a hoop. I'm going hoopless.
I think they're all going to go hoopless now. Well, and for people getting started too, you know, we keep talking about, okay, I need to get started. So it's like, if I'm going to get started, I'm going to do it without the hoop.
Okay, if you're going to get started without a hoop.
Yeah.
If you've never ever cross stitched before and you want to cross stitch, do it without a hoop. Start without a hoop, because you will not develop that. You know, there was years I was a hooper in the very beginning when I stitched on Ada cloth. Okay, I took years off, went back and went straight to linen minus a hoop, and it was game on, baby, because all I had to do was hold my stitch, and I hold the remote at night. I mean, I'm in charge of everything in my chair at night when I stitch. Okay, the light, the camera, the action, everything. Now let's do one more quick thing.
Yeah.
And then, because I'm sure Aurifil wants to do other things at this booth instead of play stitching all day.
No, I think we should just stitch all day.
I will stitch all day. Okay, I'm going to show you. This fabric darning. Okay, so we are going to go. We're going to do the same thing as we do with cross stitch, but this is the fun part. I'm going to do skip 2. Can you get in to see that? All it is over under. Now y'all saw my little sampler that I've been playing with stitches with. It's just over under, over under, over under, and you can change colors. Like this is the one I literally did. Wait, hold on, let me show you. I literally did this one before I came, and I was just practicing changing colors. You can change colors on these so easy. This one is a cool one. That's just over 2, under, let me see, over 2, under 1, over 2, under 1. That's all that is, a reverse pattern. It looks like a brick. Is that not the cutest? Oh, this little linen weaving is adorable, but all you have, and you can practice. If you don't like it, jerk it out of your linen at home. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and practice using at home, using any kind of weaving pattern. You can download a weaving pattern. Do you know that? Pages and pages of freebies. Go to an image search. Image search will give you everything, and just print them out and just start looking at them. It's crazy. All it is over, under, over, under. But like I said, if you're gonna try the weaving, I have tried every count, and I promise you the 28 count is the most comfortable to work with. You can see it, it's not messy. I would like to try it though after seeing this, how pretty this is. If you look at the difference, here's the same exact stitch. This is the linen one, and this is the even weave. See how perfect those stitches look there? This, you can see the little bumpies. I love the look of the little used, but I would like to try maybe Aurifil wants a little fun project out of that on even weave. We'll see. We'll ask them.
Always.
So we'll see what we can come up with.
That looks amazing.
I know, it's fun. So am I allowed to tell them what's coming?
Yeah.
I can?
Go.
Oh, good,
yeah,
good,
absolutely.
Good. Okay, so I'm so excited.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't show you because I haven't decided on my colors yet, and I think I'm pretty much know the design. We're going to do a block of the month cross stitch. I'm so excited. We're going to start in the fall. I don't know exact dates. Please don't ask me exact dates. Don't ask Aurifil exact dates, but I promise I'm always on time. I always meet deadlines, so it will be there when we say it's going to be there. It's going to be a block of the month, and I'm going to figure it. I don't know how to word it, so maybe they'll let me do another live video so I can tell you. I'm going to do it so that you can have, it can be a single motif or a single project per month, or you can do it monthly like I'm going to show you I'm doing mine. I'm not going to make it a mystery for y'all because mysteries are hard. The main reason I think mysteries are hard is we all wait till the second or third month to see what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
By then we're already behind. We're so upset that we're behind that we never catch up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it so it's once a month, but I'm going to figure it so that you can do it as a single project or you can have it as a big project. My big project will be finished by then, so don't worry, so you get to see it.
Yeah.
And I will have all my colors listed, and I hope you love my colors. But if you don't, you'll be able to replace your own colors, and you'll know where the colors go. You can work it as you want to work it. You can. We're just gonna make it fun. I'm so excited about that.
It's gonna be great.
Beyond excited about that one. I can't wait. I've already started stitching what I want to do, and I probably will stitch it on the plane going home tomorrow.
That's fantastic. I know that people are going to be excited about it, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully we can get some newbies going on the cross stitch as well.
I hope so, but I will tell you this, guys. Stitching with Aurifil embroidery floss, and I tell everybody this, and I'm going to say this, and then I promise I'll say goodbye. Stitching, game changer spools. Oh my God, game changer. Your stuff stays so neat and clean. Number one. 2 strands of floss is what I use pretty much on everything. Yeah. If y'all want to get detailed with me, go back to the original blog post that I did with a little Quaker Sampler, because I talked about what my personal feelings are with the wool and the 12 count, what my feelings are and how I use those. So I give you a whole, I'm not going to waste time going through all of that. You'll have to go back to the blog to read that when that came out last July. And I talk all about that. But game changer on 2 strands of embroidery floss. Everything I do is 2 strands. Because I like full coverage. If you don't like full coverage, then I would suggest 12 weight on a 28 count.
Awesome.
Okay?
Yay!
Thank you for
Such
having
great.
me,
Thank you
Aurifil.
so much. That was really fantastic, and I know people watching from home are excited and they can't wait to see what's coming up. So
thank you
so much. We'll see you soon.
Okay.